So welcome to Crystal Clear Moments, where we explore the beauty, the depth of crystal clear moments in your life and the moments, the things that you're exploring, things that you're transitioning to and from. So today, I don't have a special guest. I'm going to be your special guest, your host, Crystal Blackwell. And I thought it was important that I kind of pause with my guests and talk to you about some things that I was discussing and uncovering with some of my clients with my business, Crystal Clear Results. So my Crystal Clear Result, that's my business, my gig, that's what I do. Podcasting is what I love. I love what I do as well, but this is a little different, another lane, another limb on the Crystal Clear sort of organization. But in Crystal Clear Results, I do coaching and consulting and training. And I was in strategy sessions, and I was meeting with an organization, and I was looking at their employee satisfaction surveys, and I noticed a trend, and not just one organization, but quite a few. And a couple of them are Fortune 100 companies. And I noticed this trend where women were not feeling satisfied in the workplace. And the information lined up with their attrition numbers, which attrition is the data that captures when people leave work, when people quit. So basically, people, young women, not young women, just women in the workplace were leaving organizations, and the data showed it, and the numbers were going up, month after month. And we're showing this trend, and also the verbatims, the actual notes in the employee satisfaction survey really pointed to women not being satisfied in the workplace. So I was like, okay, something's going on here, because this information wasn't captured, I would say, in 2023. I did notice a little trend in December, toward the end of the year, but now entering 2024, on our way to 2025, the numbers are really pretty scary of just the lack of satisfaction, lack of feeling valued, not being developed. So in doing so, of course, to me, that was, I see a problem, and I'm all about, looking for solutions. I like to say that, my business is about driving solutions so that the company can get results, hence Crystal Clear Results. So women in leadership. So, further, this is I'm scratching my head. I believe it. I see it. I see the different things going on in society. So I created a curriculum for women in leadership based on that. And I've been talking to organizations about it. And one of it is about know your worth, how to negotiate, talking about imposter syndrome, all these types of things that's going to really give women building blocks. And I actually went out and surveyed women, and they, I'm getting great reviews, great results, thumbs up, high scores around the topics. But before I even talk about the topics, I want to share why I think it's important for leaders, or if you're not a leader in your organization, but you're a woman in the workplace, go to your leaders. There's a reason why it's important for businesses to invest in women. And it kind of goes back to when women entered the workplace. Oftentimes we entered, years and years ago, we entered as support, but now we're in leadership, and we're still not getting the tools that we need. So if you want your business to be prepared for, we're now 25 years into the 21st century, and you want to be prepared for what's to come. You want to strengthen the foundation of your organization so that you can grow and you can attract top talent, because it's all about attracting top talent. You can attract people, but you want top talent to really grow your business. These are some reasons why you want to invest in women. So one is, when you invest in women, your bottom line shows, money talks. So did you know that the companies with more women in leadership tend to make more money? So I'm not talking about supervisor level. Yes, we need entry level, first line level supervisors. We're talking about executive level. We're talking about CEOs. We're talking about, director levels. We're talking about all the levels of that, that 3-layer cake, entry level, that mid level, and that high level. We definitely see that at the high level, the CEO level, women who are the CEO level, those organizations tend to make more money. I mean, that's interesting. It's true. Studies have shown that diverse teams make much better decisions and are more innovative. So while they're at the table making decisions about the organizations, you have gender diversity. They're thinking about, how this particular policy, how this particular decision or product or service or anything they're doing around the culture is going to impact not only the men, but the women. So it is makes sense, to hire women, especially placing them in leadership roles. But don't just place them in leadership roles and just leave them there. Give them support, give them a mentor, introduce them to development, maybe quarterly development, maybe invest in a coach. I coach some leaders, so invest in that. But give them the tools they need so they can really, really thrive. And you will see that in the numbers. You will see an ROI in your investment. So that's one. The other one, number 2, is a happier workplace. Okay, imagine going to school or playing a game where everyone feels valued and respected. That's sort of the idea. That's awesome. We love that. So there's a happier workplace because now you have, again, diverse in gender. And women and men work together. When companies invest in women, they tend to have a happier workplace. So I'm not saying, men, don't come for me that you guys are not happy, but we tend to bring a softness, an element of joy that's a little different and unique that's needed in the workplace. And it could be an emotional intelligence space. It could be the nurturing. And again, men can offer these gifts and talents as well. But now I'm focusing on women in leadership because that's where the data is showing that corporate America, and I'm sure some small businesses are neglecting. Also, number 3, changing the game. By investing in women's, companies are helping to change the game for future generations. So you're breaking down barriers. You're showing that everyone, regardless of gender, can succeed. So when you have a generation that's still out there working, because we have, technically 4 generations in the workplace, but there's 5 on the planet. So we have baby boomers in the workplace, and that generation may not have seen, maybe not have seen any executive level board members, C-suite women. Then we have the millennials, we have the Gen X's, and they may have seen a couple, maybe director levels, C-suite level. The last organization I worked for, I left them as a vice president, and, I was not the only woman, but I was the only woman of color. But even then, wow, I really could have used some, more development. I will use some more tools to be successful. So women are changing the game. Now we're looking at, millennials, and they're hitting director levels and higher. Some are even in the C-suites. So you see more women, more gender expression from that generation. And then we have Gen Zs, and then we have our baby alphas who, pretty soon they're going to be in college, So again, it changes the game. Investing in women isn't just about today. It's about creating a future for all of us. So again, you're playing the long game. If you're looking at strategy and you're looking at, you're a leader and you're in C-suite and maybe this is your new role in C-suite and you want to invest in your organization and you want to look at the long game, you want to think about investing in women. Okay, so number 4, more opportunities for everyone. When companies actively support women's growth and success, they create more opportunities for everyone. When they actively support, so that means that's top down. That means part of your strategic plan, leaders, C-suite, when you're developing your plan, people like myself can really help in this lane, help you create a strategy around women in leadership and come up with development courses. And like I said, coaching. And how about asking the women for what they want? We'll tell you. So you just ask us what do you want? And we'll tell you. You'll be surprised on some of the easy, quick fixes. What I do know, and I had a conversation at in a women leadership event with an executive from a bank, one of my clients. And she said, hey, Crystal, gosh, I was just thinking about you. Let's connect. I want to talk through some things. I'm really hearing, some rumbles in the organization I work with. And again, she's a leader. And she said, a lot of women are talking about, equity, about pay and how to negotiate salary and how to value their worth. And I was like, girl, I got something for you because of course, I have my series and my workshops for women in leadership, but one of it is about negotiating, knowing your worth, your value, understanding that equity piece. But she's saying she's hearing more of it. Why? Because we've realized in some industries, not all, there is a gap. And we're learning how to strategically close that gap. So you definitely want to make sure that we make more opportunities for everyone by development, having strategies, teaching, showing, coaching women how to grow in the business. And that way we can create more opportunities for everyone. Even if it's adding extra levels in your organization. So for an example, I was working with an organization that was really top heavy. And when I mean by top heavy, a lot of baby boomers, folks that are over 60, heavy, and they were adding great value, but it was pretty top heavy. Then a little more in the Gen X generation and very light from millennials down. And the millennials and Gen Zs who were in that organization didn't feel seen, heard, or valued, especially the women. It's a manufacturing organization, so you can imagine the gender space was an opportunity to grow women in the manufacturing business. So I met with the leaders and we talked about, came up with a strategy. And like the first thing, I thought was, let's create partnership. Let's have some of our experienced tenured workers maybe mentor some of our new executives or our new leaders that are coming in, and then flip it. Have some of our new leaders, really mentor some of our senior leaders in areas that they're soft at. And they created this mentorship that went back and forth. We did a survey prior to it, and people were like, so. They weren't real sure, a lot of hesitant, a lot of fear, a lot of change. People don't like change. Some really engage in it, but most of us, tend to hesitate. Then we did a survey after, and we saw the gains of, I learned a new skill. I really enjoy mentoring a young professional. The young professional really enjoy partnering with a senior level leader or just a tenured worker in their space. And they were able to learn some just really foundational principles about the role. Maybe the technology piece was soft for them, but the knowledge base was heavy. So the data, the survey proved that was really a valuable exercise. So now that's part of their foundation. When they hire people into their organization, they automatically partner them up with a mentor, and then they work together. So that's a great success. I'm super excited by that, and I share that one often when I'm dealing with organizations who are struggling with retaining young top talent. And of course, the women data, oh my gosh, in that area, that really speaks. Again, these numbers are trending high. So if you're an executive, you want to lean in on, how are the women doing in my workplace? Do they have the tools they need? Now, before I go to the fifth one, I want to say, typically, people sometimes won't just tell you, especially go-getters, people that are high performers. They really want to show up. So if you think that having a quick one-on-one, you're going to get the answer, you may not. You may have to do an anonymous survey. You may have to do a listening session. Have a professional like myself come in, do a listening session where it's safe, anonymous to get that feedback. So don't think that, very rarely someone's going to be incredibly crystal clear about their moments and share their experience to their boss. So kind of think through that dynamic. And the last one that we have here is diversities drive success. I mean, we've heard this for decades. If you diversify your team, you're going to win. And I know some people struggle with that, but there's so much data supporting that. And diversifying is also in the gender space. I know we spend a lot of time in talents and spend a lot of time and the different gifts and, different things, race and, people showing up in a diverse space. But we don't want to forget the gender. People being able to join an organization to express themselves. So imagine a team where everyone thinks the same with similar backgrounds, all, sort of that madman, 1950s, 60s, all guys are leaders and very few women are popping around, and they're usually support roles. Well, some organizations are turning back to that because women are leaving because they don't feel valued, seen, heard, can't use their gifts. So you want to diversify your leadership team. Representation helps of different genders, and you want the women to be able to be comfortable being who they are, showing up as themselves in the workplace. So those are my 5. I'll go ahead and run through them again. Changing the game. Women are changing the game. You can see it. There's a lot of corporate CEOs that are women that are doing just phenomenal job and continue to do so. The workplace is happier when you have more women. I'm not saying, guys, you're grumpy, but the ladies, they make a smile. Money talks. If you invest in women, it will show in your bottom line. Your ROI will speak to it. More opportunities for everyone. You invest in women, it creates opportunities. You can change levels of your game. Investing in women means more chances for everyone. Everyone wins, and it also allows women to reach their full potential. And then lastly, we just wrapped everything up with diversity drives success. So again, thank you for hearing and learning more about, what I do is Crystal Clear Results. But my crystal clear moment was, wow, just seeing and hearing and reading the data and talking to my clients about just the gap of us not giving the leaders, women who are in leadership, or just women who are aspiring to be leaders, or just how about this, showing up at the workplace and giving it all you got. We're not giving them the support they need. So I think there's an opportunity for us, and I gave you some results. Thanks a lot.